Most people spend their entire lives trying to fix the wrong thing. They chase better jobs, better relationships, better circumstances, and nothing changes. Because the problem was never your life, it was always your mind. Right now, think about the last time something ruined your day. Was it the event itself, or the story your mind built around it? Two people, same moment, one collapses, one grows, same world, different minds. That gap, that's everything. So how do you cross it? One shift. Stop asking, why is this happening to me? Start asking, what can I do with this? Because your mind never stops narrating. Every moment, it's taking a neutral event and deciding what it means. Missed opportunity. I'm not good enough. Rejection. I'll never make it. But here's what changes when you train your mind. Missed opportunity becomes, that's feedback. Adjust and move. Rejection becomes, wrong direction. Find the right one. Same event. Completely different life. The people who grow aren't luckier than you. They're not smarter. They've just stopped letting their minds work against them. And by the end of this video, you will too. Because the moment you own the story, you own everything that follows. Something happens. You're criticized. You fail. Plans collapse. The first reaction is automatic, emotional, impulsive, unconscious. A thought appears. I always fail. No one respects me. This day is ruined. That is not reality. It is interpretation. The event is neutral. Your mind assigns meaning. It creates the weight. As Epictetus said, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. One person reacts and suffers. Another observes and adapts. Same event, different outcome. Imagine being cut off in traffic. Most react instantly. Tension rises, mood darkens. But there is another way. Notice the thought. Anger. Label it. Observe it. Now something changes. The event remains. But your experience shifts. You are no longer the reaction. You are the one who chooses. Your responses become your identity. A reactive mind becomes reactive. A deliberate mind becomes calm, resilient, intentional. Seneca wrote, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality. Most suffering comes not from events, but from the story attached to them." Pause, observe, name the thought. Choose your response, again and again. Discipline is built in these small moments. Next, the gap between stimulus and response, and how to live inside it. Most people move through life without noticing a critical detail. There is always a moment, small, almost invisible, between what happens and what you do next. But for most, this moment does not exist. Stimulus appears, reaction follows, instant, automatic, unquestioned. An insult is met with anger. A mistake is met with self-criticism. An inconvenience becomes frustration. The process feels immediate. It feels inevitable, but it is not. It is simply unobserved. The Stoics identified something most people overlook, a gap, a space between the event and the response. And within that space lies control. Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This how exists in the gap. If you react instantly, you surrender that space. You become the reaction. But if you pause, even briefly, you step into it. And once you are inside it, you gain choice. Imagine someone insults you. The words land. The mind responds. Disrespect. Attack. Unfair. Anger rises. This is the default pattern. Unquestioned, it continues. You replay the moment. You justify the emotion. You carry it forward. But now introduce awareness. Pause. Observe the reaction as it forms. Label it. Anger. Not justified anger. Not their fault. Simply anger. This changes everything. The emotion is no longer controlling you. It is being observed. And what is observed can be influenced. The event remains unchanged. But your relationship to it shifts. You are no longer inside the reaction. You are outside it, looking in. This sequence is simple, but powerful. Observe what arises, label it clearly, choose your response deliberately. Most people skip directly to reaction. The Stoic inserts awareness. This is where identity is formed, not in what happens, but in how you respond. Each time you react unconsciously, you reinforce that pattern. Each time you pause, you weaken it. Over time, the difference becomes visible. One person becomes reactive, easily disturbed, controlled by external events. Another becomes steady, measured, intentional. Same world, different mind. Seneca wrote, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." This becomes clearer within the gap. When you pause, you begin to see how quickly the mind creates meaning. A single event becomes a chain of thoughts. What if this continues? What does this say about me? What happens next? These thoughts generate emotion, but they are not facts, they are constructions. And when you observe them, their authority weakens. This is the beginning of mastery, not the elimination of emotion, but the ability to see it clearly, to experience it without being controlled by it. The gap does not remove difficulty, it removes unnecessary suffering. It gives you the ability to respond instead of react. And this ability is not built in one moment, it is built through repetition. Small pauses, repeated often, each one strengthening awareness, each one expanding the gap, until eventually it becomes natural, a new default. Next, we turn this understanding into daily practice, simple exercises to train the mind consistently. Begin with something small, not a major life event, not a dramatic challenge, just a single thought. It appears quickly, often unnoticed, negative, reactive, familiar. Instead of following it, pause. Do not engage it, do not justify it, do not suppress it. Simply observe it, label it clearly. Anger, fear, judgment, anxiety. This act may seem insignificant, but it is not. It creates separation. You are no longer the thought, you are aware of it, and awareness introduces control. This is the foundation. From here, build simple practices into your day. Morning reflection. Before the day begins, sit quietly. Write your thoughts, not to analyze them, but to see them. Notice patterns, notice tendencies. This prepares the mind. It creates familiarity with your own thinking. Now, during the day, practice the pause before responding to anything, a message, a comment, a mistake. Insert a moment of awareness. It may last only seconds, but it changes the outcome. Instead of reacting, you respond. Evening reflection. At the end of the day, review your actions. Where did you react? Where did you pause? Do not judge, observe. This builds understanding, and over time, improvement. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." This is not theory, it is practice. Epictetus trained himself through mental rehearsal. He imagined difficulty in advance, not to create fear, but to reduce it. If you expect challenges, they lose their shock. They become familiar, manageable. Seneca practiced reflection. Each night he reviewed his thoughts and actions. Where he failed, he learned. Where he succeeded, he reinforced. This is how discipline grows, not through intensity, but through consistency. Apply this to your day, in traffic, in conversation, in moments of frustration. Pause, observe the reaction, label it, choose deliberately. This is training, not dramatic, not visible, but effective. Each repetition strengthens awareness, each pause builds control, each decision shapes identity. Over time, this becomes natural, not forced, not difficult, simply how you operate. This is how the Stoics trained the mind, quietly, daily, without exception. Next, we apply this under pressure, when control is most difficult and most necessary. Pressure is unavoidable: deadlines, conflict, uncertainty, loss. These moments test the mind. Not when things are easy, but when they are not. Most people are controlled by these moments. External events dictate internal state. Stress appears, calm disappears. But the Stoics approached this differently. They did not try to control events. They trained themselves to control response. Marcus Aurelius faced constant pressure, war, responsibility, betrayal. Yet his writings remain calm, measured, deliberate. Why? Because he understood a simple truth. You cannot control what happens, only how you interpret it. When pressure appears, the reaction is immediate. Tension, fear, urgency. The mind begins to race. What if this fails? What will happen next? But again, there is a gap. Pause. Even here, especially here. Observe the reaction. Do not become it. Label it. Fear, stress, frustration. This creates distance. You are no longer inside the storm. You are observing it. Epictetus trained himself to see every event as neutral, not good, not bad. Only an opportunity to practice patience, to practice control, to practice discipline. This is a shift in perspective. Instead of resisting difficulty, you use it. Seneca prepared for adversity in advance. He imagined loss, discomfort, challenge, not to suffer early, but to reduce surprise. When difficulty arrived, it was familiar, expected, manageable. You can apply this. When pressure builds, stop. Not for long, just enough to create space. Observe the reaction, name it, then respond with intention, not based on emotion, but on reason. Resilience is not the absence of stress. It is the ability to remain steady within it. A trained mind does not panic. It does not amplify the situation. It sees clearly, acts deliberately, and moves forward. This is what separates reaction from control, and it is built again in small moments, repeated under pressure. The reactive mind is not fixed. It is conditioned, and what is conditioned can be changed. Every reaction you repeat becomes easier. Every pause you practice becomes stronger. This is how the mind is retrained, not through force, but through repetition. Consider your daily patterns, replaying conversations, imagining outcomes, reacting to criticism. These are habits, automatic, familiar, reinforced over time, but they can be interrupted. In the moment they appear, pause, observe, label the thought, replaying, worrying, judging. Do not continue the pattern, do not follow the story, let it pass. Then choose your next action deliberately. This is a small shift, but it changes direction. Instead of reinforcing the old pattern, you create a new one. Each time you do this, the change strengthens. Neural pathways adjust. The automatic reaction weakens. The deliberate response becomes easier. Over time, this becomes your default, not reacting, but observing first. This is identity in motion. You are not what happens to you. You are how you respond. And that response is built through repetition. Seneca wrote, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." This is visible in daily life. Most distress comes from thoughts, not events. When you see this clearly, the mind begins to lose its hold. You no longer believe every thought. You examine it. You choose whether to follow it. This is control, not over the world, but over yourself. And this is enough. Anxiety rarely comes from the present moment. It comes from what might happen, the future, imagined, uncertain, uncontrolled. The mind projects possibilities, worst-case scenarios, outcomes that do not exist, and then reacts as if they do. This is the source of much suffering, not reality, but anticipation. The Stoics understood this clearly. Epictetus taught that thoughts are not facts. They are impressions, initial reactions, not conclusions. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, "You have power over your mind." This includes how you interpret the future. When anxiety appears, pause. Do not follow the thought immediately. Observe it, label it, fear, Uncertainty, projection. This creates distance. The thought is no longer truth. It is something you are aware of. And what you are aware of, you can question. Ask, is this happening now? Or is this imagined? Most often it is imagined. The mind moves ahead of reality, creating scenarios, preparing for outcomes that may never occur. Seneca addressed this directly. We suffer more in imagination than in reality. When you see this clearly, something changes. You stop reacting to every thought. You begin to filter, to observe, to choose. Thoughts are information, not commands. They suggest, but they do not control. You decide whether to act on them. This is the practice. Daily, consistently. Notice the thought. Pause. Label it. Let it pass. Return to the present, where reality exists, where control exists. And over time, the mind becomes quieter, not empty, but disciplined. The mind can be trained, not perfectly, but consistently. Every moment presents a choice. React or observe. Follow the thought or question it. Be carried or take control. This choice is small, often unnoticed, but it defines everything. Your identity is not built in major decisions. It is built in repetition, daily responses, small reactions, quiet choices. Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca all pointed to the same truth. Events are neutral. Your interpretation gives them power. This is where your control begins, not outside, but within. So return to the practice. Pause. Observe. Label the thought. Choose your response. Do this in small moments, when nothing feels important. Because that is where habits are formed, and habits become character. Over time, the pause becomes natural. The gap becomes wider. The reaction becomes weaker, and clarity replaces confusion. This is not about perfection. You will still react. You will still feel. But you will recover faster. You will see more clearly. You will choose more often. This is discipline, not rigid, but aware, not forced, but practiced. Your mind is not the enemy. It is a tool. Train it, direct it, strengthen it through repetition, and eventually, it begins to work for you, not against you. So begin now, one moment, one pause, one deliberate response, and then repeat, daily, quietly, without exception. This is the Stoic path, and it is always available.